Alright, guys. I still stand by my belief that the whole sports trans deal, that it should not be allowed in the form that it currently is, very simply because there is advantages, and you can't take them away through hormone therapy. It just doesn't work that way. So that's not transphobia, that's simply logic. Yeah, I don't allow ideology to cloud judgment. I don't let this desire for equality to actually hamper equality because I'm so emotional on the topic. However, I do want to talk about the trans community a little bit because there's a lot of misinformation, especially on the right. I've seen all kinds of stories. We get a lot of fear mongering. That's something that the right, it's like a tried and true tactic. You fear monger stories and it gets people all riled up, and then those people go out and usually do horrendous shit or end up going crazy, and it drives them to vote, essentially. It's one of the reasons why fear mongering is it's here to stay. It's always going to be a thing. The problem is it's all mostly lies. Like you go back to the frickin' this isn't directly related, but the whole cat litter in the school thing because a child or children identified as cats, which ended up being fucking debunked all to hell. And there's story after story of these sort of things. They just lie constantly. Just like recently, the Haitian eating pets thing, which has been debunked all to hell. We're almost at a point where if you see it on Fox News or pretty much any right wing media that's mainstream, you might as well just go ahead and call it bullshit. That it's like all they do. But so we've got a lot of people who are freaking out, and they go like they're trying to turn our children into trans people and chopping off their bits and stuff like that. That's the fear mongering. That's what they do, and it gets you all worked up. But just take a moment and look into what they're claiming. One, it's pretty freaking crazy. So, just like with pretty much anything, extreme, what's the word I'm looking for? Claims require extreme evidence or a lot of evidence. And it doesn't take a whole lot of research to find out that all of these things are either highly exaggerated or just completely made up. So we've got this deal that there's a woke agenda. Ooh, scary. In schools, and in schools, they're trying to turn children into trans people. So, and before this, they had the same tactic with gay. They're trying to turn kids gay. That was debunked all to hell because very little, for one, very little homosexual activity is within nurture or your environment. It's almost entirely biological. Uh, Science has closed the fucking door on this. And now it's been 6 years, and I'll go into a little bit more detail. Now we know that this is also the case of transgender people. So I'm gonna dig a little bit here. This comes from Science Daily, and everything is sourced. You can look it up yourself. The title is Transgender Brains Are More Like Their Desired Gender from an Early Stage. This was released in May the 24th, 2018, and there's no research that has come out that shows that this is incorrect or anything else because it's true. So The source is the European Society of Endocrinology, and they released this study in Barcelona at the European Society of Endocrinology annual meeting in 2018. The summary of this entire deal is brain activity and structure in transgender adolescents more closely resembles the typical activation patterns of their desired gender, according to new research. The findings suggest that differences in brain function may occur early in development and that brain imaging may be a useful tool for earlier identification of transgenderism in young people. So you may think, especially if you're one of those emotional people that just like uses mental gymnastics not to understand implications of things when it comes to science, or maybe you're one of those complete retard like tinfoil hat people that just throw out science and like that's fake, man. It's just they're paid off by like people who have a woke agenda and it's not even real science. Like that's just hilarious. At that point you just essentially believe whatever the fuck you want to believe, and anything that doesn't go with your own narrative you call fake, which is funny. So this is science. This isn't just some dude's opinion. This is not like a fucking opinion poll. This is not a trans person that's like heavily biased because of their own views, whatever. Like this is where the research has led scientists. So why does it matter? Why is this important? Because just like with the whole gay thing that the right wing went crazy over before, it shows that there is a brain. There's direct brain link, which is biological, that goes into why in early adolescence that trans people experience gender dysphoria. And it's worth noting that not all transgender people experience gender dysphoria, but it's very common. It's not extremely rare, let's put it that way. So these people have distress because they feel like they're in the wrong body. And you could be like, oh well, they're screwed up. There's all sorts of right wing hatred bullshit that's like a bunch of crap. But like one of the common ones is that they're like they've been brainwashed by woke agendas or whatever. Again, woke doesn't even mean anything. It's like this boogeyman random generic term that covers everything that they don't like. But anyway, uh, where was I going with that? Yeah, the brainwashing deal. You can't you can no longer use that unless you're retarded. Like it's gone. It's we have discovered that the similarity in brain structure and the way they operate in the transgender adolescents chosen gender is so similar that it can actually be used, at least they believe that it can be used in the future in trying to come to a diagnosis. Now, the reason why this matters is because it throws out nurture almost entirely. And at the very least, it throws out this stupid shit. Like, I've always been like, well, again, this is linking it to the whole gay deal. People like, well, they're trying to turn our children into gay people. No one, like, think of it like this. I'm assuming most of the people watching are heterosexual, or at least if you are, then imagine, like, take a moment and think back to when you were an adolescent, when you started, when you were no longer just a kid and you started developing, like, sexual attraction toward the opposite sex. You didn't choose that. That's your biological wiring. That's how it works. Very little of that is social in nature. Very little of that is affected by your environment. And imagine, like, just for the sake of argument, it's complete bullshit, but let's say that there were people that were trying to, like, convince you that it's cool to be gay or whatever. It would have absolutely no effect. None. I know for me it wouldn't. You can't brainwash people to be, for their brain to be wired to be attracted to someone that they're not. It don't work that way. That's just stupid. It's like you're using mental gymnastics to excuse your hatred because you want desperately to feel like you're a good person, but you're not. You just hate someone for no fucking reason. And it's exactly the same for trans people. Trans people, it has nothing to do with what they're taught, blah, blah, blah. It's how their brain is wired. These findings prove it beyond a shadow of a doubt. So, what there could be legitimate arguments on where we should go. Like, for example, even they'll like you'll hear right wingers like, well, children shouldn't have their shit chopped off. What that doesn't even fucking happen. That's fake. That's all fake news. It does not happen, not in the United States. I don't think it happens in any country, but I know it doesn't happen in the United States. Just like recently, fucking Trump's claiming that they're killing fucking uh, babies after they're born. That is the stupidest shit I've ever heard in my life, and that's never, ever been legal in any state of the United States. It's just, he made it the fuck up. Right wingers do this all the time, and then people are like, what the fuck? And they're like, outraged. Stop being idiots. You're being fucking lied to constantly. So, you can make a point that there should be a certain age, and that's pretty much how it works already. We're not at a case where some kid can be like, I'm transgender, and then like they're automatically given everything they want. No. Even if they're going to be given like puberty blockers, which a lot of people have a problem with, but even if they're going to do that, you need both a medical person and you need a psychiatrist or psychologist to sign off on it. And their reputation, everything that they do, just like pretty much any doctor, is on the line. They're not just fucking handing shit out left and right. That's crazy freaking propaganda crap. Doesn't happen. So, there's a pretty good argument that you should do whatever it takes to make these people feel more at ease. Because there's a reason why their suicide rates are so freaking high. One, because you pieces of shit on the right constantly try to make hell for them just because they're different. And that's a stupid reason anyway. And then again, you make up mental gymnastics to like try to like seize some bullshit reason. Like, see, this is why I hate trans people. And it's usually fake. It's usually not even real. So why not just be honest and say, I hate people that are different, and it's all emotional. It's like they make me feel icky, and I don't like feeling icky, so fuck them. That's the truth. That's the real answer. Sometimes it's also something to do with religion, but the thing is, it's all in your head. You're doing like weird. It's not even really religion, it's you, but you're using religion again to try to justify it because there's nothing in the Bible that says anything against that. So what you do is you'll like take something vague, or you will just say, or you'll just make it up. You'll be like, my God doesn't make mistakes, and he created man and woman, blah blah blah. Let's not even get into the fact that you guys are so stupid you don't understand the difference between gender and sex. It's so fucking simple. And then you try to like make shit up like gender's definition changed. No, it didn't. Gender has always, always, since the very beginning, been socially defined. Has nothing to do with biological sex. Nothing. Zero. Nothing. But you conflate them. That way you can go, there's only men and there's only women. It's like, how can you be that fucking stupid? It's amazing to me. Like I'm not gonna finish that. But yeah. This is another takedown of right wing stupidity. Uh, it's really not that difficult. It takes like very few minutes of actual research looking at both sides. It doesn't take long to figure out that while the left isn't perfect by any stretch, one side has a clear fucking almost a monopoly on actual science, on actual facts. And the other is what, like, I believe in magical dudes in the sky. I hate people that are not like me. Like, just stupidity. Thank you for your time.